So this video is a tad bit different than my normal marketing videos, but this is more business model centric. And if you have a service related business, then this really applies to you. If you're an e-commerce website type thing, you may extract something from this, but probably not. It's not very applicable. But so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you what I do, how I do it, and the why, and then how that relates to you and maybe what you're not doing that you could be doing in your business to generate more revenue. So basically, we are a marketing company and we do websites. We also do everything else. And that's for a few reasons. Mainly, I want my clients to be able to call me and go, hey, Trevor, can you do a fill in the blank? A banner, a vehicle wrap, vinyl decals, t-shirts, hats, whatever. And I want to say, yes, I can do that. Now, our bread and butter is websites. It's all labor, and we charge a fair price, but we're not cheap. So we make good money on doing websites. Whereas with doing vinyl decals, like something like this, for example, I sold this batch of vinyl decals for, I think, $280, and I had right at $400 worth of labor in it. So I lost money on this. And that was because I priced the job poorly. But typically we don't make money on decals, or very much at all, but after I pay labor and so forth. So why do that? Well, the way things work is there's two big reasons, not counting the one where I want to be able to offer everything to my clients. But we do websites that they start at $1,000 and go up to $10,000 to $12,000. And when you start working with a business, it's very, very easy to get a job, a $260 job from them, than it is to get a $3,000 website project. So I offer all of these services so that essentially it's a value ladder type, kind of. So basically, a client reaches out to us because they see something affordable we offer. And we've built a relationship, developed some rapport, and next thing you know, their website was built 9 years ago. It's not performing well. They're page 7 on Google. And then they start asking the right questions. Well, how can you help me do this? And how can you help me do this? And then that's when we really actually start being profitable with that particular client. So, and then the second part of that, do I want to? Yeah, okay. I was debating if I was going to stage this. I have employees, and we're here for 8 hours a day, which I'm at home. So I have, but I have employees that come here, and I have employees that go other places as well. But basically, the way it works is we're working for 8 hours a day. And if I want to fill all 8 hours with work, so if there's an hour and a half, 2 hour gap where there's nothing to do, I'm spending money on labor that doesn't pay for itself. So that's where I backfill the schedule with what I consider break-even type work. And even though we're not making good money on that, I'm covering my overhead. So keep all that in mind. So where this comes into play for you is, like, I was talking with a client the other day, and he does automotive related stuff. He builds badass cars. He's actually the guy that's building the Lexus for me. And he can paint. He has a paint booth. He's a fantastic painter, but he doesn't really paint very much. There's a ton of paint shops around, and for him to do a paint job and take away from his normal schedule, he would have to charge a whole lot of money because he's good at what he does, and he charges a lot of money for that. So what I suggested to him the other day was bring those paint jobs in price them extremely affordable. I mean, almost break even overhead cost. And don't put a time on them. You know, they're going to be a week and a half out, 2-week delivery time on the finished vehicle, and only do that in the gaps of work flow. So when he sends, a transmission off, or he's got a transmission done, he's waiting for parts, and this car needs this, and this car needs this, and he's sitting there twiddling his thumbs, scrolling Facebook. Instead of doing that, take 2 hours, go in there, mask off the car, start doing some work to it, fill those 2 hours, new part comes in, go back and jump on the ZL1 Camaro that he's making good money on. And then go back to the paint job when another gap appears. With painting cars, it's a little bit complicated because pretty much when you start painting, you have to continue painting. But you get the idea. So I have a lot of clients that can do a lot more services than what they do, but they don't focus on certain services because they don't pay that great. But if you can leverage those services to, one, get new clients in your door for that cheaper, less desirable service, and two, you fill your book up, on your dead time, you're making more revenue. Because essentially, even if you're at your place of business from, like, I work from 10 to 5. So if I'm here from 10 to 5 and I finish up a website at 1 o'clock and I send that off to the client to be approved for the final approval, it might take them an hour or two to get back to me. And I don't really want to dive into another project until that one's complete. So I'll backfill that with a Facebook campaign or a Google ad campaign or something like that, a smaller project that I can fill into those little gaps of time. And essentially, all 8 hours of my workday is all billable. So even though those times don't make me a lot of money per hour, I'm not spending money either. So something to keep in mind. And the value ladder is a similar idea. I'm using that term kind of incorrectly, but what I would encourage you is look at what your business model, look at the things that you do offer, and look at the gaps in time that you're twiddling your thumbs waiting on something else to happen, whether it's a new job to come in, some type of approval or whatever, and what other service could you offer that would fill those gaps in and get new clients in your door. A lot of business owners, especially that have been in business for a while, develop a little bit of an ego, and I do it too. I'm not throwing stones here, and you feel like your business is above this menial task. Leave that shit to so and so. But if you can leverage those menial tasks to bring in new people and everybody that walks through your door has the potential to be a lifelong customer. We never lose customers. Like I can think of maybe 3 clients in 18 years that I've actually lost. And that's because I actually kind of fired them. They were just difficult to work with. And, we keep customers for years and years and years until they go out of business or retire or whatever. And, that's the goal. Customer acquisition is the most expensive thing you're going to cover in your business. So diversify your offerings is the biggest thing, is what I'm kind of getting at. And if you're booming and you look at your schedule and you go, well, shit, we're booked out 2 weeks every single day, I've got my guys all working, nobody has time to do shit, then this is not for you. Your model's solid. This is for the guys who have 2 or 3 employees and their employees, somebody's sitting on their ass for 2 hours a day. If you've got an employee that's sitting on their ass for 2 or 3 hours a day, then you probably should look at diversifying your offering so you can get that employee busy. Or yourself, even a one-man business. It all fits the same. So just something to keep in mind. And this doesn't, again, this is just a tip because I see a lot of clients go through this, and I think it could be helpful. And it's just a different way of thinking. It's stepping outside the box and hanging up that I'm too good to do this menial task and throwing that in there and leveraging that menial task and fattening up your pockets a little bit. Y'all have a good one.